probably saw this in the break, that Lindsey Graham, as this war powers vote's going on, tried to get away from Joe Khalil and other reporters, but he's having a hard time doing it. Let's watch this live.
That's the dumbest question.
Why do we not need regime change?
Declared state of war. Anytime you kill a soldier at war, go tell the families of the victims of the IED we're not at war with Iran. It's an undeclared state of war. Tell the Marines, 220, we're not at war. We're at war with Iran. We've been at war for a long. They've been at war with us. We're finally at war with them. It's an undeclared state of war. I'm glad we're finally taking this regime on. We negotiated with nothing to show for it. This guy need authorization.
My question is about what comes next and regime. You've said we shouldn't play a role in whatever government comes next.
Up to the Iranian people. It's not my job to fix Iran. It's my job to deal with the threats coming from Iran toward our country. I want to help the Iranian people. They choose, not us. It's their decision. Well, Colin Powell was wrong. This is not a consignment shop. You break it, you own it. That's BS. You break it if it's a threat to us. We're attacking Iran because they're a threat to us. Hope constitute a new government. Here's what I predict. It'll be better. To suggest they're out in the streets to be like the Ayatollah is offensive to them. To say that these people who've been want more of the Ayatollah is offensive to them. There's zero chance that the Ayatollah would ever be a friend of America, would give up his ambitions to be a religious Nazi. The people that come after, you're going to go from zero to, I think, a much better chance. So this idea we can't defend ourselves unless you take over a country is BS.
All right. I'm not sure, Connell, if you're still live with me, but we're going to just walk back. That was unusual to do live, but we wanted to catch Lindsey Graham. Okay, we wanted to catch him and just sort of finish that conversation because what he was saying now, he just finished the vote. The vote appears to be going down now. It's going to fail. And you just heard him there. There is no senator out of 100 that is more pro-striking Iran and continuing this war than Graham. We asked him several questions about this. Most questions that we were asking him were about, whether there is a strategy about what comes next. I was asking him, whether the U.S. has a responsibility if we're going to remove the regime in Iran to sort of help facilitate what comes next. He said absolutely not. He also basically slammed any Democrat that says that right now Congress should be the one that controls whether or not President Trump authorizes more strikes in Iran, which is effectively what this vote was about. And again, I do want to stress Senator Graham is number 1 out of 100 ranked when it comes to being hawkish on Iran. We were looking at the vote totals before we just chased Senator Graham down this hallway. It does appear, at least right now, as though this is going to be a party line vote. For Democrats, they're losing Fetterman. Republicans are losing Rand Paul. So you trade those two, and Geraldo is exactly right on his vote count. If that holds, then this resolution is going to go down. We didn't really expect, even if it did pass, Connell, President Trump was going to sign it and then come back to Congress and ask for authorization to continue strikes in Iran. But it is going to be, as we've been talking about, an important measure of where each senator is right now. And right now, it appears as though the Republican Party is for what's going on in Iran and the strikes, and Democrats are the ones that are more hesitant in saying there needs to be congressional voice in what's going on. So that critical vote just happening. Again, just chasing Senator Graham. I'm not sure if it's finished or not, Connell, but that's where we stand. And obviously his voice is an important one because he's got the ear of the president and actually just spoke with Netanyahu this morning. Graham says Netanyahu's moving forward full bore here in this campaign too.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.